right, in the chat room, I want to see some fire. I want to know who's in the building. For those of our VIP virtual, I want to know what's going on with you today. All right, and the ladies in the building, y'all make some noise. Woo! All right, so I'm looking to the side because I can see the people in the virtual chat room. So I see fires in the chat. I see everybody looking at me. Can y'all wave at me? I see y'all. Do y'all see me? All right, Zoom, do y'all see me? Wave at me. I don't see y'all. I think they stuck. Okay, we'll fix it. Oh, they waving at me now. Wave at me, hey. All right, church online, wave at me. You can't wave at me, but you can put it in the chat. I want to know who all is there right now. So I'm excited about today. Y'all, this is our first time back in person since March. I think it was the 14th or the 19th. That was a long time. I miss women's events. But what I can say is you all have been so faithful. Our girls' night-ins, how many of you all joined the girls' night-ins online? We were hitting them when we first started the pandemic. We were doing them monthly, and then we started spreading them out some, but you all never stopped showing up. So thank you so much. Thank you for being a part. And I'm just excited about today. All right, y'all ready to warm it up? Okay, before I get started, how about the praise team? The worship team, they did their thing this morning. They killed it. I'm still stuck in the 90s. So I say stuff like they killed it. They killed it. They were lit. I don't know what other words, what's some new words in this new century? What should I be saying now? Fire. Okay, y'all the same demographic as me? Y'all don't know what words to say either? Okay, we don't know what words to say, but y'all were lit. Thank you, praise team. Y'all did a wonderful job. All right, so God put Woman Up on my heart back earlier this year. We did our first virtual event. It was Woman Up. We said, if not now, then when? How many of you all were on that event? Those of you in the chat, how many of you were on the event? Okay, online, you weren't in the event. I mean, in church, how many of you all were online? All right, I hear a few people. So I was waking up one night. I always get spoken to in the middle of the night. I don't know what it is about God and me at 2:30 a.m. But it was 2:30 a.m. and I'm bad about taking voice memos, and sometimes I'll send messages to a few people on staff to say, hey, I got something. And I know they probably want to know why I always get something at 2:30 a.m. But I felt like he was saying warming up. And I said, okay, what does this mean? Is this for me? Do I need to warm it up? Or is it for everybody as a whole? And I felt like God was saying, hey, this is for you, Shameka, but then it's also something that you need to share with everyone else. And so as I started thinking about what does it mean to warming up? When you hear the term warming up, what do you think of? What do you think of when you hear the term warming up? Boss up, step it up, level up, like Sierra, level up, level up, level up. All right, yep, all of that. I think about all of that too. But I also think about the term man up. You know how you tell men and boys to man up? You better man up. You better do this. Get it together. Step it up. Stop. Suck it up. Let's get it together. Well, the term woman up, so it don't mean get it together, suck it up, but it does mean it's time to take it to the next level. We got to go to the next level. Are y'all ready to go to the next level? So someone who is warming it up, taking it to the next level, this is a person who's doing it consistently. This is a person who's doing everything that we've been taught on Sunday mornings. Then we're taking it and applying it to our lives consistently. We're disciplined. We have the tools we need. Okay, I need to move this up. Can somebody come help me move this up? This table? I got it. Look like I got it. No. Look, see now y'all done took the term already and made it what you want it to be. Y'all done said I warm it up already. Because I'm strong. That's right, all right, I'm strong. But it's us being consistent. It's us being disciplined. It's us taking the tools that we learn and applying them to our everyday lives. It's us taking it to the next level. But we're doing it in 5 areas. Now, how many of you all have your magazines, your e-mags? If you're in the room, you have them on your table. If you are in the virtual VIP, you should have received your email earlier this week. Some of you might have printed them out. But the whole magazine is talking about the 5 levels. If you're in church online, you can still get your e-mag. You can go to my website, shamekadaniels.com, and download it today. But in the e-mag, you'll see there's 5 core categories. There's the spiritual component. There's the emotional component. There's the physical component. And then there's the financial. 5 areas. These 5 areas are areas that we need to woman up. Y'all hear me? All 5, not just one. What did I say? All 5, right? So when I hear woman up, that song, I heard the song earlier this year. I heard that song and I told Jovita, I said, y'all got to sing that song because when I sing it, it does something to me. When I hear warming up, it's like I get empowered. I'm like, yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready to do something. I'm motivated. I'm confident. I'm ready to warm it up. And that's what I want you to hear. Every time you hear warming up, I want you to get motivated. I want you to hear that song in your head and say, all right, I got this. I'm going to warm it up. I'm confident. I can do whatever it is I need to do. I'm fearfully and wonderfully made. It's time for me to warm it up. All right, can I get some, y'all, all right. Y'all not ready. But I bet if I said I'm about to give away some Louis Vuittons, then y'all would be jumping up, warming it up, right? If I said I'm about to give away some shoes or a purse, then y'all would be ready. But no, we have to make sure that when we hear warming up, it does something to us. I want you to thrive in all areas of your life. All 5 areas, I want you to thrive. And we're going to talk about it today, all right? Y'all ready to talk about it? If you don't warm it up now, then I want to know when you're going to get ready to do it. It's time for us to do it today. Today. So today, as we get together, I want to challenge you. I'm going to challenge you in every area. It's going to be tough. We're going to talk back to each other today. In the chat, virtually, I want you all to get your notepads, get ready to write. Y'all not going to look at me the whole time, so get something to write with. If you have not gotten your notepads at home, online, go get your notepad right quick. I'm going to give you 5 seconds to go get your notepad, get something to write with, because we're going to do some work today. I'm going to talk to you. You're going to talk to me. You all are going to be able to ask me questions. After each session, we're going to do Q&A. I believe they gave you all the text number. Did you receive the text number? Okay, if you did not receive the text number, look in the chat. You're going to get the text number. For those of you who are online, you can text in your questions. If you're in the audience, you can text in your questions. I want you to be able to ask questions after each session because this is a day that I don't want it to just be where I talk to you, but I want you to get answers as well. I want this to be a life-changing event for you. All right? Okay, so we call this event Reimagining Her. Reimagining her. This is the her that you want to be. Not the her where we are now, but the her that you want to be. Spiritually, emotionally, physically, and relationally. Guess who her is? Who is her? The her is you. The her is you. It's time for you to reimagine. That's what you're here to do. It's time for you to reimagine. It's time for you to be consistent. Y'all can hear this word all day today. Consistent. That need to be everybody's word for the year. Consistent. Consistent. Let me hear it again. Consistent. In the chat, type consistent. You need to be consistent and intentional about growth in every area. Because when you stop being consistent, then you lost the phrase warming up. You are no longer a part of our movement. This is a movement we're starting today. Consistent, intentional. We can do this. When I think about what type of woman is the warming up woman, what picture do you see? Just get an image in your head. What does she look like? This warming up, when you hear about her, what does she look like? You got somebody in your head? I want to know who y'all thinking about. Who y'all thinking about? Your mama? Okay, that's good. Who else? Who is that woman that you're thinking about? Who is that woman that warming up in every area? Spiritually, emotionally, relationally, financially? Who is that woman? But in this first session, I want to only focus on 3 areas because I believe these 3 areas are the areas that are your core areas. If you don't warming up in these 3 foundational areas, then you might as well get out the movement. All right? We're going to kick you out because you got to start with these 3. Y'all want to know what the 3 are? Spiritually, emotionally, and physically. These are the 3 that I'm going to focus on right now in this session. Spiritually, emotionally, physically. Let me hear y'all say it. Spiritually, emotionally, physically. Now, how are we going to do this? How am I going to help you all warming up in this room, online, today, this morning, in this next 40 minutes that I have? How are we going to do it? I'm going to give you foundational keys. We're going to look at somebody. Y'all know I always have a role model, right? We're going to look at a role model in the Bible, and we're going to figure out why. How did she do that? Why did she do that? How can it help me? Now, why are these 3 areas so important foundationally? Spiritually, why is it so important that the spiritual part is the first foundational? What is it about spirituality? Okay, how many of y'all work out? Oh, okay, come on, work out. Okay, good. Chat room, how many people work out? All right, so everybody that work out, do y'all know what the core is? Training your core. All right, so I lost half of y'all right then. So I don't know what kind of workout y'all doing, but y'all not working on your core. All right, so when you work out, and my trainer taught me this because I like to bypass my core because I don't want to do nothing, hard. I just want to work out and be cute and be healthy, but I really don't want to have to pick up them weights. So I tell them stuff like, y'all know I can't lift over 10 pounds because, it's going to mess up my back. Well, he said, that's your core, Shameka. He says, when you start working out, he says, the core, everything comes from the core. So when I'm lifting weights, when I'm doing sit-ups, if I'm not doing them right, it's because my core is not strong. So when my core is not strong, then all type of things can happen. I can have back pain. I can have other injuries. My leg can start hurting. My foot can start hurting, all because I'm not working my core. Well, the same things happens to us with our spirituality. Just like your core is important to your body, your spirituality is important to your life. Yeah? Your spirituality is important to your life. When we are spiritually weak, what all do we lack? We probably lack self-control, because we all in our flesh all the time. But none of y'all are in y'all's flesh all the time. So I'm not speaking to that room. Okay. So self-control. Maybe it's hopelessness. Maybe it's pride. Maybe you lack humility. None of us want to say this, but all of these things happen when we are not growing spiritually. This is a foundational piece. Now, y'all thought I was going to say, read your Bible, pray. Yes, you got to do all of that. But when we don't do that, then we're lacking. We are not living an optimal life. God says he wants us to live a life that's abundantly. He wants us to have everything, but he wants us to be free. He wants us to have peace and joy, but he wants us to have optimal living. So I'm the type I like to look words up, right? So I said, okay, if I don't want to say the word optimal, what is a synonym for optimal? I saw excellent, I saw most favorable, and I saw 24 karat. I was like, that's the word I want to use right there. I want to have that 24 karat life. Do y'all want that 24 karat life? Now, any woman who don't want 24 carats, y'all just leave room. Leave now. Go on and get off. Log off. We'll see you later. I know y'all want that 24 karat life. Yes? Come on now. So you want to have that optimal life. That's all about your spirituality. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to grow spiritually. All right, let's look at emotional. Why is it so important? Why is emotional, that whole area, why is that a foundation? Why should I focus on that today? All right, when you are not emotionally healthy, and for those of you who sit under me and know me, I love talking about emotional health. I can talk about it all day. I read about it, I talk about it, I'm all about getting healthy. But why is it so important? I know it's important because when you're not emotionally healthy, all type of behaviors happen. All right, let's name some behaviors that happen. People get defensive. None of us in the room are defensive, but do y'all know that one person, she always defensive? Okay, nope, y'all don't know her. People withdraw. People have the victim mentality. What's a victim mentality? None of us know what that is either, right? Okay, yep, they play victim all the time. They always defeated, feelings of defeat. Like you never winning, it's always something wrong. Come on. They hypersensitive. You can't tell them nothing because you always picking on them. It's always something wrong with what you say. They super hypersensitive. Yes, all of this comes from lack of emotional health. When you're not emotionally healthy, this stuff starts happening. Maybe you have feelings of worthlessness. Maybe you feel guilt. It's so many things you can feel. But all of this has to do with our emotional health. Come on, emotional health. We need that. We know life is not peaches and cream. We've heard that, right? Life is going to throw us some lemons, so we got to learn to do what? Make lemonade. Yes, stuff happens. It's nothing we can do about it. But one of the things that I love about God is when stuff happens, when you're emotionally healthy and you're spiritually healthy, he helps you get through that moment. Look, I'm telling y'all, I done been through some stuff, but you will never know that I went through it based off of what I'm looking like now, right? That's because of God. That's because he allowed me to go through it because I was ready. I was spiritually healthy. I was emotionally healthy. And I want to tell y'all this. No money can buy happiness. What they say, money can't buy me love? Not at all. No money can buy happiness. No mansion is going to make you happy. Not even a man, y'all. Not all the time. Maybe sometimes. But not all the time. God is the only person that can make you happy. You need emotional fortitude to overcome. You need emotional fortitude to get through. When I think about all the people in the Bible, I'm like, God, okay, who is emotionally healthy in the Bible? The first person I thought about was Job. That brother lost everything. And I'm like, oh, he lost everything, but he came out. And you wouldn't even know that he had gone through what he went through. So I'm like, he had to be spiritually and emotionally healthy. I think about Queen Esther. How many times did she have to hold her tongue in that palace? Right? Y'all don't know the story of Queen Esther? She went through a lot. Y'all go back and read it. That's one of the Bible characters that I love so much. She went through a lot to get to that place in the palace. But she had to be emotionally healthy. All right, and my favorite person is Hannah and Peninnah. So if y'all don't know the story about Hannah and that sister wife Peninnah, I talk about that, she was emotionally healthy because she had to have another woman to have a baby for her husband. Whew, right there, emotionally healthy. That's right, she didn't have to put her in her place one time because she was emotionally healthy. Y'all, we want to be spiritually healthy. We want to be emotionally healthy. And the last one we want to be is physically healthy. Now, I had all of y'all in the room. Just my girlfriend D is the only person who said yes. I don't see no fire in the chat. Nobody said anything about being excited about being physically healthy. All right. Now, you know, they used to say this back in the day. If you don't take care of yourself, then you're not going to be good, what? For everybody else. You got to take care of me first. I've been talking about this for years, me first. So we got to eat right. Yes. We have to exercise. Yes. But guess what else? We got to have self-care. All right, I lost you again. Self-care. We have to rest, sleep. I'm losing y'all all over again. You got to replenish. All right, I got a few yeses this time. All of this has to do with our physical health. So it's not just going to the gym, ladies. You don't have to just go to the gym. You got to go take a nap too. You got to rest. You got to be replenished. You got to do something that brings you life, that fills you back up. Come on now. Y'all ready to be replenished? All right, we need to go on our next retreat so we can get replenished. How about that? Go out of country. We used to go out of country. We've done 2 retreats in the past. We did one in Jamaica and we did one in Mexico. We had about 80 ladies. We had a blast, but we got away because we knew the importance of getting away so that we can replenish. So I feel like maybe God is saying we need to replenish real soon. All right, so we're gonna pray about that. But it does not matter how good our emotions might be. Sickness or physical dissatisfaction can take a toll on who we are. It can take a toll on us. Your health is your personal wealth. Your health is your personal wealth. Let me hear you say it. Type it in the chat. My health is my personal wealth. My health is priceless. Right? Yo, we have to be healthy. So I want to ask you something. Are you committed to growing spiritually? All right. Are you ready to manage your feelings? Do you have the physical energy for the assignment that God has on your life? All right. God has created you for such a time as this. That's what he said to Esther. This is your time. This is your time to woman up. And I know that God has some things for you. He has desires for you. You have desires in your heart. And all of this, God is going to use you for his glory. But we got to be a better her. You got to be a better you. I got to be a better me. We have to woman up. I want you to be the best version of yourself. I want you to reimagine her. Okay, is that easy or does that seem hard? Y'all tell the truth. We in church. Okay, I heard it easy. For me, it's difficult, right? Yes, it's hard. We women, we deal with a whole lot of stuff in life, but we can make the commitment. I'm willing to make the commitment. I strive every day. No, I'm not perfect. But every day I want to work on my growth. I want to grow spiritually. I want to grow emotionally. I want to grow physically. I want to make sure that I'm doing my part. But I needed somebody to model after. Because sometimes you just need somebody else to look at from time to time. We're not supposed to compare ourselves to other people, but there's times you need to look at somebody just so you can see how they doing it, because that way they'll give you some ideas so you can figure out how to do it, right? Y'all agree with me on that? Okay, so we're going to go to the scripture, and there's this wise chick. I love a wise chick. There's this wise chick that I learned from, and she had all the foundation. Y'all know who she is? Y'all don't know who she is? She's the Proverbs 31 woman. Yeah, the Proverbs 31 woman. Spiritually, she was spiritually healthy and mature. Proverbs 31:26. Write this down. Proverbs 31:26. She speaks with wisdom, and faithful instruction is on her tongue. She speaks with wisdom, and faithful instruction is on her tongue. Oh, wait, how do you speak with wisdom? How do you have faithful instruction on your tongue? What does that mean? Wisdom. Wisdom is pure. Wisdom is peaceful. It's gentle. It's open to reason. It's full of mercy. It's good fruit. It's impartial. It's sincere. That's in the Bible. That's in James. That's what he says wisdom is. Wisdom is faithful instruction on her tongue. What's on our tongues today? Have you been speaking wisdom? What all have you been speaking? If I could sit down and listen to your conversation, maybe not your conversation here at this table, but maybe if I could listen to your conversation on your way here, on the phone call, or maybe last night, maybe you were at dinner with someone. What was on your tongue? Ephesians 4:29 is one of my favorite scriptures. I feel like when I need to be wise and what pastors say, only handle it once and clap back. I like this scripture. This is a good clap back. Ephesians 4:29. Y'all write this one down. Do not let any unwholesome talk come out of your mouth, but only what is helpful for the building up of others according to their needs. It may only benefit those who listen. Whatever comes out of my mouth, it needs to be something that's building others up. Whatever comes out of your mouth, it needs to be something that's building others up. Whatever comes out of her mouth, it needs to be something that is building others up. I would love to know, are you building others up? Or are you tearing them down? I mean, I know that the Bible says a wise woman builds her house, but a fool, what does she do? She tears it down with her own hands. Man, we want to be wise. We can learn this from the Proverbs 31 woman. All right, what else can we learn from her? Emotionally, Proverbs 31:12. I think this is my favorite one. This is my new favorite. Proverbs 31:12. She brings him good, not harm, all the days of her life. Okay, where am I going with this one? Y'all know where I'm going with this one? You say, what does this have to do with emotional health? No problem, I'll show you what it has to do with emotional health. It says, she brings him good. Everybody say good. Type good. Not harm. Not harm. When? All. A-L-L. All. I said, do I need to look up what all means? Because this says all today. I'm like, is that every day? Is that Monday through Friday? All of them? Wait a minute. So she brings her man, her husband, because they're talking about her husband, good all of the days. That's every day. And she does not bring him harm. I said, oh, she just blessed me. She blessed my whole ministry. Y'all ain't blessed today? All. All. What does all mean? Are we bringing good all the time? To be all in, you need to be completely healthy. To be all in, y'all, you need to be completely healthy. You cannot give your all through to anything if you're not healthy. All the days, your good days and bad. So how many of us have bad days every now and then? Okay, now if everybody didn't say something in the chat or raise their hand in this room right now, something is wrong. So all y'all's days good all the time? No. Okay. So do you bring good on your bad day? Ooh. I feel like I just got whooped all over. What? On your bad day, she's still bringing this man good. Come on now. She real healthy. We can learn a lot from her. Meaning she is, even when the process is going on, when stuff is going on and life happens and lemonade is coming around and reality at that home with that man, she's processing because she wise, see? So she knows she emotionally healthy. She wise. She got to process. So just because you bring in good don't mean that something don't come in your mind for a minute. But what she does is when it comes in her mind, she dismisses that thought and she says, okay, I got to do right. I got to respect him today. So let me be honoring. Let me be respectful. Let me be loving. Let me not bring him harm, right? So no, I don't mean bring him harm, like put your hands on him. But what I'm saying is when we're disrespectful, we bring harm, right? When we're dishonoring, we bring harm. When we say things we shouldn't say, when we tear him down and put him in his place just that one time, is that bringing him harm? I'm like, she a wise chick. So now every time I look at her in the scripture, I'm like, whoop, that's a wise chick right there. Emotionally healthy. She is my new poster child for emotional health. All right, physically, the last one, Proverbs 31:17. She is physically healthy. Proverbs 31:17 says, she set aside about her work vigorously. Her arms are strong for her task. Okay, strong for your task. What all are her tasks? When I read through the scriptures, I'm like, okay, she a wise chick and she a boss chick. You do all of that? Girl, when do you sleep? I'm trying to figure that out. But they say she do it. She do it all. She's very thought process. She thinks about it, about her time, very strategic about what's happening with her. She has time to rest and prepare. She has time to exercise her arms so they can be strong. Okay, so the Bible says she did work. What all type of work did she do? She worked with her hands. We know it talked about she had the spindle. I had to look up and see what a spindle is. It's that stuff that you make wool and flax. That's like cotton, that type of thing. So she was stirring that spindle. So I'm like, all right, she had to be pretty strong to do that. She planted the garden because it said that she went and bought the vineyards and she kept them up. I'm like, oh, she did all of that? How many of y'all have ever had to work in a garden before? What is going on with these women today? Y'all haven't worked in the garden? All right, I'm from Mississippi. My mama used to make me get out there in that garden. I don't know about y'all. But I used to have to get out there in that garden. We had one of those tiller, like lawnmowers, and we had to push that thing. Man, that was hard to push. And my little weak self was trying to push it. Then I had to pick up all the weeds out of the ground. Then I had to go pick the peas and then come back in and shell the peas. That's why I don't eat peas like that these days. Now, Miss Carolyn, you make some good peas, so I eat yours, but I don't eat no peas like that. Because that's a lot of work. This woman did all of this. And they said she sewed the clothes and she made the comforters. I'm like, good grief. Then she went out and got the food and came back and cooked the food for everybody in the house. She did a whole lot. So think about what type of strength she had to have. So she didn't have to have just physical strength, right? She couldn't be tired. You can't do all of that and be tired, walking around tired. So she had to have rest. She was healthy physically. She rested. She had her physical strength. She knew what she needed to do. She was a bad mama jamma, right? A wise chick. So we can learn a whole lot from her. For me, that's warming up. Proverbs 31, she is warming up. When I see warming up now, that's who I see. Proverbs 31. What do you see? Warming up. I know it's possible because she helped us see that it's possible. We can learn from her. We can learn from her so that we can be successful. We can learn from her so we can be the better version of ourselves now. How many of us want to be better? All right, I want to give you some keys that's going to help you warming up. But before I do that, I want y'all to do something for me. So those of you who are online, those of you who are in the VIP Zoom, those of you who are in the room, I want you to do something for me. I want to challenge you. In this season of warming up, I want you to assess where you are right now. And we're going to do an exercise. So everybody's got to do it for me. So the first thing you have to do is close your eyes. Everybody's eyes closed. All right, I see a few eyes open still. So let's close your eyes. And it's time for us to start imagining. So what are we going to imagine? We said we were going to imagine her, but right now I want you to imagine you in this present moment. I want you to think about yourself right now spiritually. Think about yourself spiritually. Now, how is your relationship with God? Do you spend time with him? Do you make time for him? Is he priority in your life? How often do you spend time with him? I want you to think about this, because you imagining where you are right now. What are you reading to help you grow spiritually? Who are you listening to help you grow spiritually? Are you taking what you're learning on a Sunday morning, on a Wednesday night, in groups, and applying it to your life? When situations happen, what's the first thing you do? I want y'all to really think about this. What's the first thing you do when situations happen? Who do you reach out to first? Do you go to prayer first, or do you pick up the phone and call someone? What's the first thing you do? What's on your tongue? Be honest with yourself. What are you truly speaking? So I really want you to think about, where am I right now spiritually? And we might not always like what we see, but this is our time to figure out where we are. So now let's think about us emotionally. What areas do you lack self-control? When a feeling comes over you, how do you respond? When anger happens, what do you do? When hurt happens, what do you do? When you feel lonely, how do you respond? Do you react without processing? Do you think before you speak? Are you aware of your feelings? Are you intoxicated with your thoughts? Are you in control of your actions? Emotionally, where are you? Now let's think about ourselves physically. Where are you physically? Are you pleased with your physical health? Do you sacrifice yourself at the expense of others? Do you make time for self-care? How many hours do you really sleep at night? Is rest a part of your consistent routine? When is the last time you had a checkup and went to the doctor? Are you aware of what you're putting in your body? How often are you taking time to exercise and really care for yourself? Think about yourself physically, where you are. Now, once you have that, I want you to think about this Proverbs 31 woman. I want you to think about, where do you want to be? How are you going to reimagine her, the new you, where you want to be? Spiritually, what does that look like? Are you going to be spiritually full? What are you going to do to get there? Wouldn't it be great to be able to have no anxiety, because all you're doing is thinking about whatever is pure, whatever is good? You're focusing on those things. There's no worry in your life because you have full trust in God. You can trust him and put it in his hands because you know he's got it. There's no heaviness. You feel comfort. You feel peace. You feel God's love. That's the new you spiritually. What about emotionally? How can you reimagine yourself emotionally? Are you tuned in to who you want to be? The her you want to be. You have the ability to feel your feelings, and you make decisions before you respond. You have a peace that surpasses all understanding. Even when life is chaotic, you still are in peace. You're not hurting. You have laughter in your heart. You're good. You're full. What about you physically? How can you reimagine yourself physically? You're experiencing freedom. How does that feel to be free? You're full of energy. You're replenished. Your body feels good. You like what you see when you look in the mirror. Everything that you're putting in your body is clean. That's the you want to be. Now, can you reimagine her? Can you reimagine this woman spiritually, emotionally, physically? That's the woman I want to be. Is that who you want to be? Now I want you to open your eyes. Now, did you see the person that you want to be? Did you see her? But we got to get there. And I'm going to help you. I'm going to give you 3 things, and I want you to do something for me. So I'm going to give you 3 things to get there. Because I believe it's possible. Everything I said, I believe you can have. Do you believe it? I want it. Do you want it? We're going to get there. So there's 3 keys spiritually. What do we need to do spiritually so we can get to that place that we imagine? We need to focus on our core. What does that mean to focus on our core? Focus on our core. We need to be committed to our spiritual growth. We need to be focused daily, consistent, daily, committed. There are things that you commit to. Stay with me, Tario. There are things that you commit to that have nothing to do with your spiritual growth. I want you to commit to this just like you commit to that. There's so many things that we give our time and we commit to. Consistency is key. Type it in the chat. I want you to say it in the room. Consistency. Consistency is key. How do you focus on your core? Everybody's core is different. When I go work out in the gym, he gives me a different exercise than what he gives my friend that works out with me. Because all of us have different areas we need to focus on a little more. So you have to do the same thing. I do know, though, it starts with Pastor taught us Stronger, Closer, Better. It's the best resource for spiritual growth and your time with God if you hadn't gotten it. Stronger, Closer, Better. But he teaches us to pray. He teaches us to worship, to spend time just sitting, listening to worship in his presence. And then we need to study. We need to create a spiritual growth plan. What does that look like for your life? A spiritual growth plan is that you figuring out, okay, when am I going to read? How often am I going to read? In your magazine, I gave you a 30-day reading plan. Maybe you say, I'm going to start this. I'm going to incorporate this. I'm going to be consistent on this reading plan so that this is a new part of my life. You got to be consistent. And every person needs core attention. Everybody in this room, everybody online, you need core attention according to where you are right now. Now, you already imagine. I didn't ask you to get up and tell me where you are, but you imagine it. So you know where you are. And you were honest with yourselves. So you know where you need to be. You might even have to set reminders right now in your phone to say, hey, it's time with God. Get consistent. Get an accountability partner. Join a group, a discipleship group. Be intentional about your attendance. Commit to that. Give your word to that. We give our word to everything else, and we tend to forget about God and ourselves. Those are the 2 people we don't like to give our word to. So give your word to God and give your word to yourself. You have to be intentional. Make an appointment with God. Make sure you focus on your core. The second thing, because I told you I was going to give you 3, the second thing you have to do emotionally, you have to find counsel. Pastor and I teach this. You got to find counsel, y'all. In the multitude of counsel, there is safety. There is strength. You can't always do this by yourself. Sometimes you just need somebody to help you take off the blinders. I told my story years ago when I wrote my book, Arise. I had to sit down with my counselor, and she made me show her who I was. I had to be honest with myself, and I had to be honest with her. And she helped me see the Shameka I was, and she helped me reimagine the Shameka that I needed to be. And I committed to growing. And I'm still growing, but I committed. I made a commitment that day, and she holds me accountable. She picks up the phone and she calls me, and she says, Shameka, how you doing? God put you on my spirit today. What's going on? Where are you? I talked about this earlier this year. There was time last fall. We just had so much going on in the pandemic, and it was just a lot. My son had just gone to school. It was a lot for me. And I felt myself drifting. I was drifting away, just drifting. And I got a text message from her. She says, I'm praying for you. I don't know what's going on. See, that's what happened when God aligns you with the right people in your life. They know when to reach out. They know when to say, I'm praying for you. That good girlfriend, she knows how to call and say, you good? Something don't seem right with you. You good? Y'all gotta find counsel. Counsel could be an individual counselor. It could be a group counselor. It could be maybe you going off to a retreat like I did when I first started my healing journey. Whatever it is, you have to find counsel. Because when you find counsel, you have the ability to find your feelings. And then you can start feeling your feelings. And you can go back to God and say, all right, God, I'm feeling a whole lot of stuff right now. And I need help processing. I need help managing all these triggers that I got. I need help with my responses. Because I don't always respond like the Proverbs 31 woman. And I don't want to be that. When people see me and when people think about me, I want them to be able to say, she handled me the way God would handle me. We can't, none of us can say that. We have to work to that. And that's something I continue to work on. I want to build people up, truly. Like whatever comes out of my mouth, I really want to build people up. So all of us got a long way to go, right? Can y'all commit to finding counsel? All right, and the third thing I want you to do, physically, I want you to care for yourself like you care about everybody else. Care for yourself like you care about everyone else. Those of you who have children, how you take care of them kids, do that for you. Practice what you preach. You tell them a whole lot of good stuff, don't you? You probably the best counselor in the world when it comes to everybody else. You can tell everybody what to do. Y'all can get them advice, the best advice. But when it comes to yourself, you just like, what in the world? It's time to practice what you preach. We can do that. Practice what you preach. And then physically, y'all, we got to take care of ourselves. I said it earlier. You're not going to be good for no one else if you don't take care of yourself. So sisters, we got to start exercising. And one of the things about when you go to the doctor, I would hate for the doctor to say, now you have to do it. I want you to do it before you have to do it. When you're struggling with diabetes and heart conditions and things like that, they'll tell you, you got to get that weight off. That's why I had to work on my weight. Y'all, I was having all type of issues. I share my story. I was having issues with my breast. I was having issues with I have an immune disorder and all of this stuff because I wasn't I was poorly stewarding my body. I wasn't taking care of God's temple like I should have. And I had to make some changes. I had to change what went in my mouth. I had to change how I was working out. Like I had to make some adjustments. And it paid off because now I can look in the mirror and I'm like, ooh, I like what I see. I ain't poking at every little piece in the mirror anymore. But it wasn't because I wanted to be cute. Y'all, I wanted to be healthy. I wanted to be around for my kids. I want to grow up and see them get married and have some grandbabies and have a granddaughter since I ain't get to have no little daughter. Like, I want that for myself. And I said, hey, I got to take care of me. So are you ready to do this? Are you ready to woman up and take care of you? You can do everything that I've talked about, but you need support. You need accountability. You got to figure out, how am I going to get support? How am I going to find accountability? Sometimes you got to make investments and stuff. So you got to figure out, what am I going to do? I need a jump start. Some of you say, hey, I just need a jump start. I'm a wreck in all the areas. I need a jump start right now. And before the end of the day, I'm going to give you all some pointers I'm going to give you an opportunity that I've created so that you can have a jump start. But you got to have it. You got to have accountability. I believe in you. Do you believe in yourself? I love y'all. Like, I get up and do this. I was telling Laquan, I love putting events together. I love coaching and counseling people because it's like one-on-one, it's in group setting. But like, this is hard for me to put together some notes, and then I gotta like memorize it because, you know, pastor, he makes it real hard because he just get up and he just preach and make y'all all lay all out on the floor, right? This is hard for me, but I do it because I really love you and I love doing this for you. Because I promise y'all, I would just look cute and sit on the front row. But that's not what God called me to do. And so I have to be obedient to him. And it's time for you all to be obedient today and warming up. So I want you to do something. We're gonna transition into Q&A, but I want you to do something. So we're gonna have to turn the lights up. If you're in the room, you should have an envelope and a card. If you are in the chat rooms, you should be getting a link right now. I want you to I'm going to give you all about 5 minutes. Now, you thought about where you were. You reimagine where you want to be. You have a role model, the Proverbs 21 woman. I want you to write a letter to yourself. And as you write this letter to yourself, I want you to take a moment and consider what you're feeling. Be truthful. Nobody's going to read this. Be truthful about where you are right now. And I want you to tell yourself where you want to be. I'm going to give you the next 90 days. What are you going to do different? So I want you to write this letter to yourself. Those of you in the room, when you finish writing your letter, put it in your envelope, seal it, put your address on it, because I'm going to mail it back to you. We're going to keep your letters and I'm going to mail it back to you. Those of you who are online in the chat room, I want you to fill out this form. We're going to personally print the letters out. Everybody who fills out this form, we're going to print your letter out and we're going to mail it back to you as well. So make sure you put the correct address, because I want you to make a commitment. You have told me, I think I asked y'all like 20 times, are you ready to warm it up? And y'all said yes, all 20 times. So I want you to make this commitment and you're going to write it down today. So I'm going to give you 5 minutes. You're writing your letters and we're going to prepare for Q&A. Michaela, you can come on and let's get set up for that.